time for Intros with Kato. Nico is a linebacker, a class of 2023, so one of our youngsters yet to potentially be ranked in the new year. Nico's from, he's living in Victoria, BC, but he's born in Argentina, which is an interesting fact that I've just learned, so that's pretty cool. Nico, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So we've got you at 6 feet 180. And we have you as an athlete, but you say you're playing linebacker primarily. Just tell us a bit about your football career and journey and how that all started.
It started when I was around 7, and I always thought it was so cool when we drove by the field and saw all those people playing. So I just went and signed up, and I know the rest is kind of just history.
What other positions do you play?
I play kind of just running back, receiver, and DB.
Is there any one position that you like the most?
Definitely linebacker for sure.
And why do you like that?
I just like it because you're always in like the very middle of the action, and there's so many different things you can do. Like you can blitz, you can just stay there and like defend runs, or you can even go into coverage. And
what type of player would you say you are?
I'd say I'm definitely high energy for sure. I think I'm pretty coachable, and I can just go in a position that people need me to, or the coaches need me to.
Are you a loud player on the field, a bit flashy, or are you more quiet?
I think sometimes it depends. I'm definitely, if it's like a closer game or if it's like really competitive, I might be a little bit louder just to try and keep everyone's energy up. But a practice or whatever, then I'll try to like stay a little bit more calm.
What type of coaching do you best respond to?
I think that I like it the best when coaches are like very involved and they're also high energy, so they can kind of like almost as if they're just excited about or just as excited about the games as the players are.
During the season, or a typical season, what's your favorite part about football?
Just hanging out with all the other boys on the team and just bonding on and off the field, but definitely especially on the field, because that's where all the fun happens.
Do you have any team rituals?
There's one lady at our club, and she always makes cookies for every single age group before their games. So they have them for every home game. You have cookies at after your game, win or lose. And
what's been your proudest football moment to date, if you have one?
Well, we've won a couple, or with my team, we've won a couple island championships. I got like a team MVP.
What were your goals for this season?
I think just get better at every aspect of the game. So mentally and physically. So either trying to read offenses or defenses, just trying to get bigger, stronger, just become a better player.
Did you have to get creative with how you trained, or were you able to access your facility or resources, or how did that look for you?
At first it was pretty rough because there was just, I don't really have a lot of stuff at my house. I ended up finding getting a hold of some dumbbells so I can do just kind of like stuff with that. And I remember I was actually doing squats with like a broomstick and 2 backpacks like filled with stuff.
So I can see in the back there you've got a Fox 40 Prospect Challenge jersey. Mm-hmm. You just shine your camera over there so we can see that a little better. There you go.
Yeah.
So you've obviously participated in that event. What did you like about that? What was that experience like for you?
I liked that it was like the 3 days that we were there, it was like always football and just getting into like such great coaching and just learning all that and having so much time to like spend with all the people on my team and kind of knowing some of the people on the other team too. So yeah, it was really cool. And the combine it was great to like know where I was at with all my skills.
Let's talk about recruiting a little bit. I realize you're still in the fairly early stages. What are you looking forward to most?
I think I'm looking forward to just getting a chance to go to school and play football in like the same place, because where I live, there isn't really a lot of opportunity to do that. Like there's no school really nearby that has a football program. So I think I'm just really interested or really excited to try and get something where everything's all in one spot.
Do you have any schools that look especially intriguing to you, or are you kind of just open to everything right now?
Well, there's of course like the big dream schools but I think just kind of anything. Yeah, I'm kind of just open to anything right now because it's still early. So I'll just try and base where I want to go off how many offers I get. And
do you want to play down in the States at all?
Yeah, if it's on the table, I definitely for sure would like to, because yeah, it's definitely a whole different atmosphere down there with all the big universities. But
what would be your dream college team to play on?
I think Oklahoma. I just really like their team, and I don't know, I just find them really cool. So
what's your favorite subject in school right now?
As tough as it is for me, I think I really like math. I find math really interesting.
What do you want to take academically at the post-secondary level?
I was thinking about going to some sort of physical therapy.
Have you wanted to do that from like a young age, or is that something that's just kind of started to pique your interest?
I think I want to do that for a couple of years now, because I'm just kind of interested in like all this stuff, and I just find it really cool how it's like how some people can just like make stuff completely go away just with like all their education, and like just slowly help people like get back to where they were after an injury.
Do you find it hard to balance sports with school or any other extracurricular activity?
Not really, or not yet at least, because I'm not really up in the higher grades, but I just try to finish all my stuff at school. So whenever I get home, I have time for the gym or for football. So they're not clashing, or I don't need to miss out on either one of them.
Dealing with performance expectations, either the ones that you put on yourself or that your parents or your friends or coaches put on you, how do you deal with that pressure?
I think I just try to take a break and just breathe, and I just have to try and do my best, and that's all I can do, really.
Do you find that it's tough to say no to if you even experience it, peer pressure or people that want to pull you away from focusing or achieving the goals that you've set out for yourself?
I don't find it hard at all. I really try to pick who I am with, and if they're not, if they're trying to tear me away from like any of my dreams or what I'm really passionate about, then I'm just going to ignore it and focus on what I want to do.
So you surround yourself with like-minded people?
As much as I can.
Do you have any words of advice for younger players?
Stay committed. Don't miss out on any practices. And the more committed to your team you are, the better you're going to get.
We're just going to end off with a quick little game. I'm going to ask you a question, and obviously you answer it. Or I'm going to say two things and you say which one you prefer, okay?
Sounds good.
What are you watching on Netflix?
I watched like that new TV show that just came out. I think it was called like Sneakerheads on Netflix. And I watched that I binged that really quick.
Sweet or salty?
I have to go sweet. I mean, salty. Sorry.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay. Do you prefer dogs or cats?
Dogs.
What would you do if you won the lottery?
Definitely build a new field in Cowichan and just try to like build a super nice field and donate back to the club.
Think vacation, adventure race, or sit on a beach?
I think a little bit of both.
Well, you can only have one.
Probably just sit on a beach then.
Okay. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I don't think so.
Do you have a reason why?
I think it's just its own thing. It's so popular that it's just like developed its own reputation.
What's your spirit animal?
I think it's a bear.
If you joined the circus, what would your circus act be?
I don't know. I think I just juggle. Even though I'm not very good at it, I think that's what I'd probably like to do.
Would you just juggle the pylon things, or would you juggle like fire and...
I'd probably just start with like the bowling pins or whatever, and then work my way up.
Bowling pins, that was the word I was looking for. What's on your music playlist?
Definitely just a lot of rap.
Any specific group that's your favorite?
Not really. There's kind of like a certain variety.
Do you kick the single to tie the game, or do you go for two and win the game?
I think you'd go for two, depending on how good your playbook is.
If you could meet one person, a non-athlete in the world, past or present, who is it?
I think I'd meet Ryan Reynolds. Just he's a funny guy. I feel like
funny.
he'd be fun to hang out with.
Yeah, he seems pretty sincere too.
I think he's like Canadian too, so then we have
He is
something to
Canadian.
talk about.
He's from BC, I think actually. I think he's a BC native from what I remember. I could be totally wrong, but for some reason that's sticking in my head. I think he is.
Might have to look that up afterwards.
All right, Nico, those are great answers. Thanks for letting us get to know you a little bit better.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Looking for more exclusive Canadian recruiting content? Become a CFC Insider Gold or Silver member today for access to rankings, analysis, and the latest recruiting news from across the country.